All right, investing in real estate. Anybody investing now? Anybody invested before? Yeah, good. Yeah, right. You did a good one.
Me and you.
Yeah, right. What happened?
They invested together.
You did. You got what you did. Yeah, we did a lot of work. Yeah, speaking of wholesaling, we ended up wholesaling a property together. And does everybody know what wholesaling is? I'm probably going to jump around here. I'm not very structured. You want to tell us? Like, wholesaling?
From what I know, wholesaling is pretty much it's the purchase agreement of distressed property and pretty much reassigning the purchase agreement to an end buyer who actually wants to rehab, fix and flip it, or buy the street.
Yes. Exactly right. So there's like two ways to wholesale property. Actually, the way me and Shawn did it, where we actually took title, we bought the property, not very well, a couple hours a day. So we put the money up, we closed on it. We had one deed transferred from them to us, and then we had another buyer lined up, and then transferred our deed to them. So we actually took the money from our closing.
Which wasn't even the original plan.
It wasn't the original plan, really. People were, because it's so short of inventory right now, as you all know, people are literally beating down my door. Like, you got, they're just literally trying to buy it from us. So
it was supposed to be a renovation, but
we had it all worked out.
We got
the money ready. I mean, it was
where was it? Pleasant.
Nice location, big house. Like, we're going to spend $80,000 in it. But to me, bird in the hand for two in the bush, right? We can make 25 or 30, that's what anything, or 40. Spending 5 months and 80 grand and unknown problems.
Or the market changing in the future.
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah, 30,000 right there, scaling.
Exactly. Yeah. Remind me to go back to work. Yeah, so that's wholesaling kind of a bit. And John mentioned he wants to get into investing and wholesaling initially because you don't have to put your own money up.
No, they don't really require like licensing.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to put your own money up as long as everybody's in the know. Let me put that disclosure out there. This wholesaling can be very legally, can be a legal problem for you. So let me be an example. So John has 123 Main Street, and I want to buy 123 Main Street. But Robert will buy it from me. I'm buying $50,000 from John. Robert will buy it from me for $80,000. But John doesn't know Robert's going to buy it. And if I have a title company who will do this, which they should not, they'll allow me to close with Robert for $80,000 without John knowing. And then I take your $80,000 and I give it to John, I keep my $30,000, and then the title company reverse records the deeds. That is illegal. You cannot do that. The title company shouldn't do it. They're breaking the law. And because you're not disclosing to John, they have selling your property a couple bucks more than the room. In 2003 to 2006 was a lot of those done. But 2009, literally the FBI was arresting people for that. Why? It was a problem. So any title company tell you they'll do that, and there are some in the state will do that. It's not legal. You can't use B buyers to buy off a seller.
Yeah.
All right. Just want to make sure because it is going on. It happens. Sometimes I tell people they can't do it. They'll say, "Well, the title company will do it," and then they think it's okay to do it.
So isn't that like a transactional broker?
Well, I mean, as far as representation, it shouldn't work anyway. That deal. But it would be a transaction broker. Yeah.
Contract saying that. You're not allowed to sell the contract to someone else.
It's not assignable.
It's not assignable.
Our contracts
saying that.
NJAR's contracts are not assignable. Wholesalers have assignable contracts, and they usually, good wholesalers, their contract says what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, so as realtors, just remember, like, disclose. Okay, we'll get back to the good stuff. I personally own about 50 properties. I think it's more than that now. Yeah, I mean, I dealt with a lot of investors here, I've done a lot of this for the last 22 years. This is why I got into real estate. I'm not in real estate to sell real estate. I'm not in real estate to do this. This was a simple.
It wasn't the teach. It wasn't the teach. I can see that.
What's that?
It wasn't the teach. I can see that.
No, it was not the teach. Thanks, Robert.
Oh, my
All right, I'm gonna leave.
Oh.
We work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right this property here, I put it up there because this was my first investment property back in 2001, I think. 2000. I actually was able to buy the property with zero money out of pocket. Washington Mutual had an 80-20 investment loan, 2 loans, 2 packages, 5 paperwork, 80-20. I was able to buy literally no money in pocket. I don't know any loans like that for investment properties anymore. Unless you get the hard money or private money. Think everybody know what that is pretty much? Everybody know, if you like, I have some, they call them institutional hard money lenders. They're basically, they're not federally, they don't need to follow the federal guidelines. Rates are high, from 9 to 14%. They have anywhere between 2 and 5 points when you close. They're short-term loans, usually 1 year max. They're hard as nail loans, and they base your loan a little bit off your credit, but mostly off your experience. They want to know how many flips you own, how many rental properties you own, things like that. Okay. Let me just, Robert, what would you like to learn today? So let me try to teach you correctly. Seriously, tell me what everybody would like to know. What do you need to know?
You'd like to know everything inside your head. You are
as old as when I first met her, she had to put a desk next to me. It was just pretty.
Where do you start? How do you find property?
Properties. Okay, that's a good question.
My question is, how do you form a writ?
What?
How do we get in? How do we form a writ?
Actual writ.
Well, if we all here wanted to buy things together.
A writ, we have to find do an LLC with an attorney, and there's a lot of guidelines for a writ. You could do just an investing group, though.
An investing
We
group.
could just throw money in the pot, do an LLC,
Right.
and wouldn't be as stringent as far as the legal aspect.
So that's what I would be interested in.
Okay.
Learning in or two.
Okay, that's a great idea. Actually.
And
Yes, son.
Raise your hand.
that's another thing about this. You mentioned the LLC. When is it a good idea to create an LLC? Like I said, I just did an investment property and I was thinking about doing an LLC. But I don't know if you're aware of any laws coming about that says, because for some reason, if you're LLC, you can't have a real estate license. It doesn't allow you to. It doesn't allow you to purchase under the LLC.
Say that again.
You can't purchase under your LLC. So say if I wanted to buy a house.
Oh, it's with a mortgage.
Well, they just told me it's for real estate for agents. You can't.
Who told you that?
My town.
Your real estate license should have anything to do with purchasing an LLC.
All right,
LLC alone.
but say if I wanted to purchase, I have an LLC and I want that LLC to purchase the house.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what it is. Someone with my real estate license doesn't recognize it.
I'm not going to pretend to be an accountant, so
Yeah.
and ask them why. The biggest trouble with the owner of properties LLC is getting a mortgage.
Oh,
Because the hard money, the private money,
the reason was that I wanted the LLC to assume the tax that right off for my agency business.
Say that again?
So I wanted the LLC to assume the tax liability for the houses I sold with my real estate. That's
Yeah.
Oh yeah, your LLC can't receive your commission income. No.
As a realtor, you're not an LLC.
Yeah, that is going to happen soon. Though, by the way, with separate note, state real estate commission, New Jersey Real Estate Commission is going to allow us as realtors to get paid as an LLC or S corp. I don't know when, but it'll be in the.
okay.
But
That's my question is not so much in that.
not the commission.
When is it viable to open to do LLC for these investment properties?
As long as you can get money with the LLC on the property, always buy an LLC. You can. And that's what the attorney would tell you.
There's another question in the chat: how to invest if you're strapped for liquid cash at the moment?
Hard money or private money? Actually, let me rewind. Hard money or private money? That's the answer. So we'll rewind. How do you find property? Right? I got the magic answer. You ready?
Go for it.
Lead generator. But what is that? I mean, that is, if you ask 10 people, by the way, tomorrow there is an investment seminar my client is putting on. It's an all day thing. That's actually how contracts. It's 9 to 5, I think. I think he is targeting 205. How much? 200 bucks. I should be serious. I should be charging him.
What's it?
Anyway, there's going to be a lot of investment speakers, and if you ask all of them tomorrow how to get property a different way. One of those is call it. How many people have gotten a random text message from somebody saying they want to buy a piece of real estate, right? What are they doing? They're lead generating. They're just getting a random list of owners who owns properties. I feel like a postcard up by your
Where do you get these lists from?
tax pools, just randomly, who owns properties, and then there is there's a lot of different systems you can buy. And I'm trying to think of the one that Matt Nina was here. I paid for one right now. I don't know the name of it though. And it's basically like you can buy a list of people that own property in this township, in this zip code, that they own property with X amount of equity, that they own a property that's in default more than 3 months higher than the mortgage. Basically, kind of like Red X for agents, but for investors. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But it is the best. I don't remember what it's called. But if you Google systems, you say, I want to buy a system to find investment properties. You will find plenty of places to spend your money. I'm not saying do that. My point is, you have to spend money to make money. You have to be calling, texting, sending postcards, doing bandit signs, they call them, or ugly signs. You know, you've seen all the signs. We buy houses, any condition, any situation. Combine all those together and do them all, and you'll find a lot of properties. Then you can write a lot of wholesale.
Is it,
I know it's the answer you're looking for, but that is.
are those foreclosure lists anything valuable? Foreclosure lists? I mean,
They are, but again, it's you have to call them. I would say call them, text them, mail them letters. Unfortunately, the Red X ones for realtors with their 90 days behind, a lot of people are either they're lying or they're delusional. They'll say, I'm not behind. At some point you were. You know, and a lot of them, you know, they think they're going to get out of it. So they are, but just keep in mind when you go into that, you have a list of 100 people that are 90 days or longer in default. 80 of them are going to say, I'm going to get out, I'm not lead, and no, I don't want to buy some of my house. 20 of them might be open to talking to you, and 3 of them might be open to selling. You know what I mean? Just go into with that mindset. How many expires? Call expires, everyone's not going to give you an appointment. After talking to 25 of them, one might. You understand? But you combine it all together, and if you're really looking to invest in the big business, like investing, hire an ISA to do all things. That's what it's like a telemarketer. We do it for sales as well. You hire an inside sales agent to make calls to get listings and buyers. That's actually where an investment could work out good. So if you don't have to spend the money or loan for getting a texting system, an emailing system, buying a list, getting an ISA to call, doing postcards, doing bandit signs, now you have 10 people all invested to do all of that. You understand? That wouldn't be a bad idea. To answer your question, your question was that group. That, I mean, I wouldn't do a regular system we're talking about, but an investment club. We can talk about that. We've done before. We need somebody to take the ball and run with it. I could come to it and bring all the ideas and we can do it. We just need somebody to really organize. That's what words. Yeah, seriously. I think it's a great way. Plenty of people that want to invest, but don't, you know, by themselves. They don't want to do it by themselves. Don't have the money or the means by themselves.
How much do you think you want to have your club like that?
I would say, you know, if you had 5 people, at least all putting $10,000 up, or 10 with $10,000 each would be great. Because you're still going to get a loan or a part of money, but you just need to just amount down and for incidentals. And when you do a hard money loan, not skipping around, I apologize, but you put a down payment sometimes, and then you have to put your first draw up. So if you have an $80,000 budget, 4 draws of $20,000, that first 20 you're going to put out of your pocket, and then you go back. So you need some seed money, right?
So cash out mortgage opportunity.
cash out on that property or
on your property.
your personal property?
Yeah, on any property.
If you have equity, yes. Actually, that's one of the things I go over in here. Some ways to find it. Is this Madalena?
Is that what
The
you're
one I just told her to cancel. Ask her to say the one I just told her to cancel.
Yeah.
Mojo dialer is a dialing system. You could use it for that, but this was specific to investment. All right. What do we got?
Specific investment properties for anything, or flipping or renting,
What's that?
like this system.
This system, yeah, it was, yeah, so it was basically finding people that have equity, in default, you know, things that would kind of indicate a distressed property, or that might want to sell, things like that. But it was a very broad list. I mean, we got listed at literally at 30,000 people on it, you know, so it was meant to be called by, you know, telemarketers.
Batch leads.
Batch fees, yes, batch fees, that's it.
Batch.
Batch fees.
I want to hear about renting. When we get there.
Renting?
Batch leads.
You said renting?
Yeah.
Okay, like buying a rental property? We're gonna talk about that. So anyway, about 21 properties in 2004, 2006, I was hooked. I literally was hooked. I tell people I have a buying problem. And I do. Me and Ron went and saw one yesterday. Me and Madalena went and saw one yesterday. I just came with the one I bought with Les. I said, me and this young lady did one. Did a lot of work to it. Took us a long time. How do we start? How do we start investing? Start with a goal. What's your goal? Like, what's your goal in investing? Passive income. Awesome. That's a great one. I mean, passive income properties. And the thing about it is, even though the prices are still up a little bit now, the numbers still work. I mean, the rents are, there's, you know, the rents work on almost anything you buy under 250. Anybody have investors that are buying right now rental properties? Right?
I have people that are telling you they want to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Feel educated enough to come to you.
And you feel like you didn't know. What's your goal? Looking for passive income properties, want to pay off your credit cards, pay off your mortgage, building a savings account. Trust me, when I was in 2000, probably in 2005, after 4 years of real estate, I never ever thought of paying off my mortgage. It feels so good not on a mortgage. Not about bragging, but I mean, I would have never ever even came close to doing that without buying investment properties. Yeah, real estate sales can do that too. Be your real estate. We'll cover today, you know, how to calculate. Wait, this is up here. Look for passive income properties. Yeah, we'll read this the next one.
Okay,
Yeah.
of course.
We're going to figure out how to look for and calculate the numbers for rental properties, the formula to calculate numbers for a flip property, and different ways to fund your rental or flip property. What do I got next on there? I'm going to try to solve this a little bit. Rental property calculation, simple, fast way to see if a property would work as a rental is the 1% rule. If the sales price is $150,000, it needs to bring in $1,500 a month. Is that 100% accurate? No, but it is a very quick way to figure out if it's going to be at least some income or at least going to be breaking.
Is that
That's a
equation?
12%. So that's a 12% ROI.
That what?
That equation that you just gave,
Which
is that
one?
up there?
This right here?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sale price.
I can't
Oh,
see
you
that
know,
on
your eyes are, you the far side,
No.
yeah. It basically just says $150,000 sales price. It needs to be $1,500 per month or higher. Again, this is not, you know, you want to do better numbers than this. We're going into that. But if you look real quick on the MLS, that's something we'll look for.
Is for residential, is that also called a cap rate or? Is it?
There's no percentage there. It's just how much is the property bringing in per month for me to even go look at it. Think about it that way. I'm not even going to look at it. It's bringing in 1% of the sales price or more. Then you do a P&L, which I'll talk to you about total monthly, yearly income expenses, and leaves with a projected monthly profit. What's the next one?
Can I take a picture of it before you do that?
Yeah.
I'm
You
gonna
guys can
ask
have
her,
this
see
if you
if
want.
I send it to
Yeah,
us.
well,
Yeah.
I probably won't open it, so.
I
I mean, if I'm here,
I'm not the only one that doesn't do that.
yeah, if I'm here, I'll get it.
Thanks,
now.
Sean.
Yeah.
I open everything.
That's all.
That's why I asked you to print it out. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so come.
You have a question?
We opened it from here.
We did.
So how long do you have to own a rental property to technically be profitable? You spend $150,000, now you're out $150,000. So how long do you have to pretty much own a rental property to be profitable?
Refinance it.
That's a 12% return. That's what you buy for cash. So
You
that
say that again?
it's a 12%
12%.
return on investment if you buy it for cash.
I'm gonna go to John first, and then we'll come back. We'll explain how to do an ROI. So I'm glad you did that, so we can do it right now. When you say why do you say profitable? Like you just say it's profitable because you spent 150. You're saying so. Pretend you put 150,000.
Yeah, you're
cash out.
profit.
Technically, you're profitable the first month you have that. Anything above and beyond your monthly expenses. After you put the $150,000 out, you receive, let's just say, $1,500 a month. Let's say your expenses are $500 a month. You profit $1,000 that first month. That is profit because this is a tangible asset. You know, as long as you're buying correctly, that $150,000 investment shouldn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? It's not like you're spending it; it's never going to get it back.
The house is always going to be worth
$150,000. As long as you're buying,
so
smart.
as soon as you.
So it's profitable should be from day one.
From day
one. Well, from the first time you
never
receive
going to
income.
the property.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. And then you made a good point. Or somebody said about buying the mortgage. When you do ROIs, you pretend that you're buying it cash, even if you're getting a mortgage. Because if you do it when we have out of pocket, the rate of return is going to be ridiculously high. So you pretend it's always a cash deal. That's how you figure out the rate of return for the ROI. Yeah, so the ROI. What did you do to figure that out? Do you mind me asking?
Well, it's 1% a month, that's 12 months, it's 12%.
Awesome. That's really good. Okay.
We're Pisces, we get it.
Yes. It's a little more complex way to do it, but that was actually good. What do we do is $1,500 a monthly. I times it by 12. That's $18,000 a month a year income. And then we just divide it by what you invest into it, which we always assume is cash, 150,000. Right, that's a 12% return. This was simpler though.
I don't know science of that.
Yeah, it's actually.
If it's 1% a month.
Right.
Times 12.
Times 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not always going to be 1%.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But it might be-
Okay, yes.
It might be
Perfect.
1.
Okay, I'm like, how did you do that so quick in 22 years? I haven't done that. Okay, that's why.
So if it was, 0.5,
Yeah, sorry.
then it would be 6%, if it was 1.5, it'd be 18%.
I was like, why am I doing this complicated way for 20 years? All right. So that's how you do ROI. So let's know what a cap rate is or ROI.
I know that.
You know what I mean? You know how to do that. Everybody knows how to do that? Because that's something the investors are going to ask you. Even if they don't know what it is, they throw out these fancy words like they do cap rate,
Yeah,
what's my rate of return.
I think I'm complicating the residential side of it, because I have sold commercial properties.
Right.
And we do it based on a cap rate, based on the amount of money that they're, same way you're saying, the amount of money that they're gonna put out and make.
Yep, exactly.
From the income.
Exactly. Think about this. We tell people, like, especially if they're,
Ray Brokey has his hand raised.
if you have a 401k or an IRA, there's self-directed 401ks or self-directed IRAs that you can invest in real estate. So, if you put $100,000 in a savings account or a 401k, you want to know how much money you're getting every year. It's the same in real estate. You're putting it into a fund, how much money you're getting out of it every year. Make sense? Ray, what you got? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Shawn. Actually, I was going to ask if you can go in a little more detail about cap rate, because I've heard it being calculated a number of different ways. Just want to hear your take on it.
That's how I do a cap rate. Tell me how you've heard it done.
I'm a little rusty on it, so that's why I just wanted your opinion. I didn't have a specific way.
No, I've heard people doing it different. Well, okay, let me stop. There's actually, you can have a gross cap rate, a net cap rate. Those are different ways I've heard of it. I've heard of other people give me different numbers. Quite honestly, when they tell me my numbers are wrong, I don't understand how they're doing them. So I wouldn't say there is. To me, it's you have a gross cap rate before you pay. I have $1,500 exactly $1,500 a month. I spend $150. That's my gross cap rate. After my taxes, my insurance, my sewer, say 10% for repairs. That's to me is your net cap rate. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Does that make sense, Ray?
Yeah. Christine, would you be able to send this out? Because I'm on the road. I can't dissect it.
Yes, sir.
What's that?
You want me to send out the slide?
Awesome. Thank you.
I mean, if you hear of another way or anybody does, let me know. Because I've heard it, Phil, give me other numbers. No way, I don't pay for those numbers. So I'm not gonna ever say it's not another way, but to me, it's either I invest X amount of dollars, like get this percent return. I don't know what else there is. Right? In commercial, is there a different way to do it?
No, he said it exactly. You said it exactly the same. They take the number they're purchasing for and put together all of the expenses, like you're about to talk about the fee, the profit and loss.
Right.
So how much the property is making, how much the property is losing for taxes and insurance and utilities or whatever. And then dividing that by that final purchase price. And usually with people that I deal with, if it's not at least 8% return,
right,
they don't want it.
They don't want it. So 8% the lowest, right? Commercial.
That some of them will go.
Right.
And you don't include depreciation in that.
No, what I was going to say was, in commercial, we have commercial is there's a lot more expenses and things they might take into account. Vacancy rates, management fees, right? Environmental costs, or there's different things that they do. It depends on what the property is, and the bigger the complex is too. It could be residential, but it might be a 100-unit building. They'll work in a vacancy rate because it's done bigger property. They're going to work in probably employees, on-site manager, and also an on-site maintenance guy. You know what I mean? So once you get bigger, there's more expenses.
Shawn,
more things added. Yeah.
Question on the chat. Do you always go with 10% of gross for repairs per month, or is this case by case?
I build in 10%.
Why?
I build in 10%.
Why?
Just off my experience. If it's a single family house and it's $18,000 a year, $1,800 would pay for a water heater and some minor repairs. But 1 year it might be 20%. 1 year it might be 0. You know what I mean? I mean, if you got to replace the roof 1 year, you're going to reach the 10%. But you're not going to replace the roof every year. It's something I was told years ago and always went with. But this is what I did as an example. I don't know if this is one of our properties. $1,500 a month, times 12, 18,000. Taxes and insurance, 3,500. That was Atlantic Savings when the taxes went up. Projected repairs, 10%. Utilities, inspections, yearly permits. As a rental property owner, you have to apply for a CO in those townships every year. Usually there's a landlord license, just be costly, and things like that. So if you want to know what that is, if you ever have a question on it, let me know. I know most of the township's laws total, and then again, this is your projected net ROI, gross ROI, net ROI. Make sense? But most investors won't even, if you tell them there's a gross ROI and net ROI, they might think you're actually the best thing since sliced bread. You know what I mean? They're like, well, this person knows what they're talking about. Because most people don't too. Most of the agents will tell you the gross ROI, but tell you have no taxes, no insurance, and no sales, nothing invested. That's $11,500 per year for one property. Multiply that by 3, 4, or 10, and then, like I said, what's your goal? Like this is literally what people do. This is what their business is, and they're millionaires. Over 50% of the millionaires in the United States make their money one way or another off of real estate. Did you know that? So, and it seems like every year it's becoming more and more of a craze. So it's proven. It's there. And it's not rocket science. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. So, yeah, I just want to take the risk. Well, this was done before COVID. But literally, there was properties in Pleasantville, even in Anchorage Township, that were earning 30-40% ROIs, and that was putting 20% down on the rental property. Wasn't putting that, bag of cash. So, yeah, you can buy it. Even right now, there's ROIs that are worth buying it. Ways to purchase income properties. Cash, this is cash. So, traditional 20% down mortgages. If the property is mortgageable and you're going to buy it for a buy and hold, buy it with a normal mortgage. I mean, like off of your mountain lot, Kevin, the mortgage guys we have, or anybody, normal conventional mortgage. Don't always go to a private lender. In fact, if you're buying it, buy and hold, you're 100% know you're going to do that. try to avoid buying it from a private lender or hard money lender, they're expensive. And you're gonna need to refinance them out anyway. Only buy it in a hard money or private lender if it's not mortgageable because of the condition. And or pretend you don't have 20% down and the closing costs and things like that. And the company, the private lender, will let you do 100%. That might be the only other reason. Even then, if you can get the 20% off a credit card instead of the mortgage, I would do it that way. Because I'm buying a flip now with another agent in the office, and the closing cost for the hard money is 3 points, 3 months minimum payments. That's 12 grand. That's 12 grand. And if we were to buy and hold that, I gotta refinance it out. You know what I mean? So it's expensive. There's some 20% down, normal rates, blah, blah, blah. Yes, you need good credit. Yes, you need income. You can use the projected rental income from the property that you're buying, even if it's not rented. You 75% of that projected rental income to qualify for the mortgage. But you need to qualify for all your debt plus 25% of the property. Need distant income, like I said, check with your lenders. We have great lenders. We even have some lenders that will do rehab loans on buy and hold. Jim Garrity, he's in our rating office. There might be Jim Alcohol may have something too, but they're not FHA 203K. They broker them out a lot of times. They'll do 20% down, buy and hold, and they'll do construction loan on top. So check with your regular lenders first. If you don't have to, call me. Seller financing. A little hard to bear right now, unless you're paying a lot. But does everybody understand how seller financing works?
Seller holds.
Exactly. Seller plays the bank. You know, you want to buy this property, 123 Main Street. You agree the price. The seller becomes the bank of John Doe. Usually, you typically do it for a certain amount of time. You pick an interest rate. Is it an interest only loan? Is it amortized? Are you paying principal? There is a deadline to it. My seller in Revere Street, no, the guy doing the thing tomorrow, organizing it. The buyer's paying a lot of money. I'll be honest, I don't work with the buyer though. So, but he put a $15,000 non-refundable deposit to rent it for 12 months, and it has to buy it 12 months, or he loses that deposit. Holds the price. Seller basically. Well, actually, this is the right zone. I'm sorry. But you do it similar to that. You basically put a deadline on it, but you got right that you're paying the mortgage to John Doe. The deed is in your name. The good thing, if you can find somebody to do that, that avoids putting the 20% of the pocket. So if you can find that, awesome. In 2019, those a lot more of those come around, and they were very good. Once you get the deed in your name, you can pull equity out. You need 20% equity, you only 20% down. Oh, and that's a lot of times what people are missing. What we got next?
One question about the seller financing.
Yeah.
Do they typically ask for, what do they typically ask for a down payment? Because there's a down payment involved.
It's up to the seller. Yeah, it doesn't have to be, but it can. A lot of times they take it off the market and put it in the deed in your name. Yes, they're gonna want some skin in the game.
How much skin in the game?
Depends on the seller. Depends on your negotiation.
I had investors that used to do that with 20% down, but this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he would almost hope that they would not pay their mortgage.
Right.
Within 4 weeks, he would go and foreclose on the property. It was an opportunity, though.
You've been around for a while, right?
I have. Yeah.
Do you remember Bill Land? Remember Bill Land?
No.
Daryl Land's ex-husband?
Oh, Daryl Lynn, yeah.
Your ex-husband?
Yeah.
So I did a lease.
Ian
I did a
Hamilton
lease
used to do a
purchase.
lot too. You know, Ian Hamilton, he passed away now, but he used to do a lot.
Oh, really?
20% down. So people who had like 500 credit scores or had illnesses or had nothing in the books, 5 years, they would be a 5-year arm. And then 5 years, they would either refinance it or again, first time they were late, they would lose their money.
Right.
But people were, most of the people came good with it.
Came through, right?
Yeah.
They just want the
And
opportunity.
he did 2 to 5% over the going rate.
Whatever
Right,
the
so
rate.
like I said, it would be 9 to 14%. Like
Yeah. And like the guy doing he's going to lease purchase, but he needed a year. He had 2 late mortgage payments, and you can't get a normal mortgage for at least 12 months after 1 late mortgage, just 1. So he needed that 12 months. They love the house.
Yeah.
He's gonna do it. Yeah. There, Bill, yeah. Okay, how do you get down payment money? Robert said, can you take money out of your house? Yes, I mean, if you don't mind, I guess I'll go, don't take equity out of your primary residence unless it is improving the value in your house and you know that for a fact, or it's to make money on that money, to buy investment property, really, or invest it in something that's going to make money. It's not to buy a car, it's not to buy clothes, it's not to buy PS. You're just using it as an ATM, which is really fortunate people do that. But if you're going to take it out and definitely buy an income property, yes, it's worth it. Because the home equity line of credit, if you take $50,000, it's like a $200 payment a month. It's nothing. So that could be your down payment. Towards your 20% down. Again, seller financing, we went over that. Hard money lenders. Like I said, I have some hard money lenders if you need some names and numbers, but high interest rates. Down payment is usually not 20%, though. It's usually 10%. If you start keeping a relationship with them, usually it's 0%. So that you can get it to 0%. Partners with money, bring a partner in, you find a price. That's what I do with agents. So if they bring me a property, I'll put the money up. I'll do the hard money up to the payments. Because it's property is where it's at. Need the property. And we have to do it with the property. Yeah. Definitely. Credit cards. I did this. This is a last resort. You you're willing to take risks and you have no other way to get it. I get 0% credit card offers all the time. You get $5 grand, 10 grand, and you're very responsible. Right? Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Don't mess yourself up with credit cards. But I took like 10 grand off 2 credit cards, I think, at 0%, and then I paid them off like a year later. But that is the way. If you got good credit, you have those offers. Talk to a mortgage lender. Like I said, talk to some of our lenders. They have construction loans now. Some of them piggybacked on an investment property. What's next, Christine? Thank you very much, Christine. What are you looking for in investment property? What would the property rent for, sell for, ARV? This is the most important part. You make your money on the buy. Anybody ever heard that before? You make your money. If you buy a property for the right number, can't go wrong. You just can't. Right? You can rent it, wholesale it, sit on it for a couple months, whatever you flip it, whatever you want to do. If you buy it wrong, almost all, a lot of your options just go out the window. So that's the most important part, is buying it for the right number. Especially in this market, as John mentioned earlier, what the market changes. We're on the edge of our seat waiting for the market shift, right? It's shifting downwards in the price so much, but it's a great point because everything I'm buying, I'm trying to make 2019, 2020 ARVs work with what I'm buying it for now. Because if the market went up 20% in 12 to 18 months, between 2020 and 2021, what's to say it can't go down the same amount? So if we buy something today, it needs 80,000 in repairs, it's gonna be 4 months, 6 months. I can't hope that the market's gonna be there in 6 months. So just keep that in mind when you're buying flips. Rentals doesn't matter, it's long term. So just the ARVs, make sure you're conservative on your ARV right now for a flip. Again, rentals doesn't matter. It just has to make sense as far as income. If you're going to buy or run, location, obviously locations key. Bringing real estate, bedroom, bath, traditional property is quirky. I would say quirky. The flips, quirky is to me is a negative. I take deduction for quirky. Just when you're selling a property as well. Is it quirky? Is it going to get a little bit less money? What do you
typically look for? You were talking about beds and baths just now. So if you're looking for something to buy and hold, what are you looking for in that property?
Initially, the bedroom. How many bedrooms? How many baths? Well, first the location. Where's the location? The bedrooms, then the baths. Transportation, public transportation. Location overall. Basically, the rental properties, buy and holds. I want to know what Section 8 will pay max. I don't do a lot of Section 8. Not that they don't want Section 8. There's a lot of times the criteria I'm looking for. They don't have anything else, like as far as additional income or their credit is so horrendous. The reason I do that is because again, it gives me a bar of what Section, what's the state TRA or Section 8 gonna pay? And then I know the cash tenant's gonna pay a little bit less. Section 8 pays high, TRA, they pay a lot.
Do anything extra to be like, to take a class to Section 8?
For Section 8, no.
They
You
just
do,
make you fill out, they just make you like,
exactly.
fill out a form. It's a lot.
You fill out a form and then you don't know what section, if the rent's $1,500 a month, you don't know what Section 8 is gonna pay until you actually give them the lease.
Right.
And most of the time it's 80, 90, 95%. It's rarely 100%. The tenant pays a little something. But you fill out a form, like you said, and they do an inspection yearly before they move in and every
Do you have
year.
to pay for that?
No. Back in Section 8, will schedule it with the tenant yearly, and they'll give a list of what the tenant has to fix and what the landlord has to fix. So they kind of hold the tenant responsible. Like, you broke the freaking closet door, you gotta fix it, not the landlord. The heater doesn't work, the landlord's gotta fix it. You know what I mean?
And you don't do many of them.
I don't do a lot of them just because of other criteria I'm looking for.
Right.
You know, great, you pay the rent, but you have zero income on paper. How do you keep the heat on? How are you gonna feed yourself? You know what I mean? Things like that. So I want to, there's other things I look for.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I've had Section 8, trust me, I've had a lot of tenants. So, like I said, they'll pay the most usually. So if you're looking to maximize your income, not a bad thing at all. So, yeah, my friend calls it mailbox money. What else? Yeah, just thank you very much. Condition of the property. What do you need to fix exactly? If you're doing a flip and you haven't done a flip before, bring your contractor. That's it. Bring your contractor. Show him what let him tell you what needs to be done. Because you're going to get an ARV based on a beautiful house. How much does the contractor say needs to be beautiful, right? Mm-hmm. I can get into a whole class on how do you calculate, flooring and all that. As far as a rental property, if it's something that's mortgageable by a conventional normal mortgage, you should know it needs to be fixed. What's the city going to ask for? Nothing else for the CO. Because the rental property fixed all doesn't need to be fixed at all. So your purchase price on a flip will be different if it's going to be a rental property for you. Most times we'll pay more for a long-term property than a flip. Everybody understand that? Or know why? When you're selling your buyer a flip, lately, the last 5-10 years, there's a perception of we're already done, right? The kitchen, the bathroom, the floor, everything, right? A rental property is more, is a CO ready, can be livable, not a brand new kitchen, but it's nice. It's livable. Get it? So when you go look at a property, you're looking at it, this isn't good for a flip, but this is good for a rental. You use two different numbers to buy that one. But I would say if you're a realtor, end user is paying the most, the rental investors next, and the lowest, right? Look at the big ticket items. First, make an Excel spreadsheet. Are the walls bubbling out? You ever stand in the front of, well, you don't do this already. When you look at, you're standing in the front of the house, like the house we bought on Broad. If you look from the front porch, kind of go to the left side, look down the house on the left side or the right side, is the siding like this, you know what I mean? Like a race car track hills. Or is it nice and, you know what I mean? Is the foundation, if you want to look at the foundation, is it straight or is it bubbling out? Yeah. When you look at the chimney, is it like this? Is the roof, literally flying off? Roof, structure, electrical panels. Is it windows? Single pane wood windows?
Yeah.
That one was it. That was
It was.
Is it plaster walls? You know what I mean? Is it knob and tube? Is it fuses? Is it literally that cloth wiring? The things like that. These are things I look for. If it's knob and tube and plaster, it's a good job. It's a good. It's not gonna get no inspection. Heater, water heater, plumbing. Like you want the wiring to be Romex, you want the panel to be breakers, you want the plumbing to be copper or plastic. You call it PEX. You can see it like a red and a blue. There's a white copper. A white plumbing they used to use before. Looks like PEX, but it's not differentiated color. That's actually got a lot of problems with it, just so you know. Yeah, in between copper, it's not PVC, but it's in between copper and PEX to use it, and it has a lot of problems. The joints have a lot of problems. Just so single glow box.
So what does PEX stand for?
I have no idea.
That's the red and the blue. Though.
Yeah, that's the red and the blue. Yeah. Somebody asked me that before. How that? Maybe. Electrical sewer is a city water, city sewer. Right. Septic is expensive. If you buy an investment property that does not have a septic system that's 5 years old, just assume it takes 15 grand to replace it. If it's good, when you buy, after you buy it, you're at 15 grand. But just work $15,000. Well, I usually budget 5 grand for a septic, for a test, treatment, and maybe if needed, a whole new system. Shouldn't be that much. Yeah.
I had a situation last year where the seller thought that it had a septic and it actually was a cesspool. Is there any quick way to tell
a cesspool?
If it's a cesspool?
If you can't access the lid, no. Like there's a concrete lid and you can yes, but then it looks like one that I've seen, it looked like Legos with concrete blocks in a circle. It's literally just a circular pit. But the cesspool, no fixing it, no replacing it, it's taking it out. You have legally, I don't think you can sell it anymore. You can't, right? Oh, yeah.
If the seller has to put it as
cash.
This is cash, right?
You can buy cash and you can let it continue as cash.
Right.
You don't have to fix it.
Right.
Unless
Yeah.
it's environmental.
Problem. Yeah. And since they changed the guidelines of the percolation inches percolated water with septic tests after 2011, almost if it was put in before 2011, 90% of them were failed because the septic companies don't reliable for saying, oh yeah, it passed, and then it doesn't work. So that's why I say if you're willing to buy properties of flips or rentals that have a septic, as soon as you replace 15 grand as a well, add another 5, and then if you don't do all that stuff, you're ahead 20 grand. Vent pipes, oil tanks, underground oil tanks, right? They're a problem. If they're in the ground, do not buy a property with an underground oil tank without it having. I don't buy it without it having been pulled. A soil sample is $450. Pulled if it's not obstructed by anything. You get with a backhoe, $1,000. You'd be spending $1,000, and if it's leaking, you're walking away from $1,000. But if it's buy it with it in there, and they do a soil sample, they don't get the soil sample under the tank. I've actually had twice, but the soil sample is good, but they pull the tank and it'll oil under the tank. And that's yours. You now own it. So that was a light one. One was $27,000 and one was $18,000 to clean it up. So it's better to walk away from $1,000 than to get stuck with $27,000. Most expensive oil cleanup I have is Atlantic City on Martin Luther King Boulevard. It was $115,000, I think, before the seller walked away and let them take it for taxes.
Wow. I had one on Newport and Denver.
It's crazy.
They did clean it up, but it took forever. It was a duplex.
Was it?
And so your narrow process,
so small.
Having to go in and clean everything up.
These little Kubotas and they're
It's not worth a ton of money.
Is it?
Most flyers maybe.
Yeah.
But
this property was worth like $8 grand.
Yeah.
He had 115 and he hated me because I was on the point to take out. Anyway, okay, cosmetics, vent pipes. Then after you look at the big stuff, septics, wells, roofs, heaters, things like that, then you start looking at cosmetics. As we know, as realtors, cosmetics sell the house. The mechanicals and everything in working correct order gets to the home inspection, right? Unfortunately, buyers don't look and see if the roof's real good, the heater's brand new. They want to know is the kitchen beautiful and the floor was beautiful and the bathrooms are pretty, right? Right. But then when they get the home inspection, they want to take everything else apart. So make sure it's cosmetically beautiful and everything's in working order to get them to buy it, get the home inspection. What we got next? All right, hard money average costs. Again, these vary. Don't take this for this gospel. Some of the different costs or different things, let us know. But on average, I've noticed depending on your experience and how they like you as the person going on the money, do 10% down, 10 to 12% interest, 2 to 4 points, depending on the loan amount. Could be an additional $1,000, $1,500 in fees on top of the points. The guy I've been using a lot of, he charges me 3 points and then $500 for the attorney to write up the mortgage, the note, and that's it. Mortgage note. The mortgage, the note, and the deed in lieu of foreclosure. So it's funny, I actually gave them this idea because they were nervous to lend me money years ago. And I said, what if I assigned a deed in lieu of foreclosure on the property that you're lending me the money on? So if I miss one payment, you just file the deed in lieu, and then it's not yours now. I don't have to go. You don't have to go to court. Just file it. You get it? But I can sign the property over. So I paid for that up front. $150,000 loan cost me about $12,000 for a hard money loan over 6 months. Yeah. This is very small. When you print it out, you can blow it up maybe. But this is actually some estimates. And I did it just so you can, is there a second page to that? No. I did that first page to say that you can make this up for yourself. You can find something like this online, but it says per square foot, this is what laminate flooring should be. Per square foot, or this size kitchen, this is what cabinet should be. Get an idea of, you know what contractor can. The next one's going to be confusing. No way, I can't figure out a better way to do it, but I was going to tell you what this says, right? So I did one today, actually. I was going to do a property if we can find it, but Ron and I have a property. I did the numbers with Madeline, so I apologize. So Madeline gave me a number of $240,000 for an ARV. The property probably needs $15,000 in work. I know I'm going to pay 1%, or my payments. So whatever loan amount I get, it's going to be $200,000. It's going to be 1%. 1%. How much? $2,000. $2,000. It's such a small rehab. I'm hoping we can fix it and sell it in 90 days. $6,000 in payments. It's 3 points. That's $6,000, right? My money cost. My cost of money is $12,000. I put 16% here to be a little higher. If you follow that to the T, it will work for you, but it's just a little confusing. So $12,000, then I calculated a 5% commission plus a little extra for closing costs. $2,000 on the front end, give you $2,000 additional transfer taxes into the back end. I think it came to like $15,000. So basically, for my hard money costs and my closing costs and commissions, I was estimating $30,000. Then I doubled that for profit. I said $30,000 profit. Now I have $60,000, right? So 240 is the ARV. I minus my 60, so 180, right? I minus my $15,000 rehab budget. And I'm at what?
I have you at 150.
180, no, 165.
165.
So 240 minus 60, 180, right? 180 minus 15, 165. So I don't know what you said. I offered 165. That's basically what it says here. What's that? 165.
Oh.
They wanted 190. I have to do the same thing. I have to do the same thing for the property run. But basically that form works. It's so confusing. If any questions, call. Once you have your offer and rehab calculations, make your offer. There you go. 165. That's cool. If you have a property you're not sure about, give me a call. Before I'm in the office, we can go over on. I can find the pictures. I can usually tell you an estimated rehab cost. Outside and inside pictures. And then figure out the ARV. I can figure out what I would offer, what I could get it. Some things to keep in mind when rehabbing a property: stay within your budget. Stay within your budget. If my budget is $15,000, honestly, on that property, I'll probably make it 20, just because I want to tack on something. I usually add 10 to 15% to whatever the budget is, just as we missed this. We didn't see it. Oops. Behind the wall. Exactly. There's always a oh shit. Yeah. We did this property in Robert Best. The house has been up in the air, off the foundation for 3.5 months. We put it down, backfilled it. We're inside now. We did the roof, the siding, we're inside now. Nobody noticed till last week that there's no sewer line for the property. It has sewer at the street. The pipe goes up the back. We assumed it went all the way around, but it had never been hooked up to the sewer. It needs to go up, around, so we got to trench it and lines. So that was on fire. Oops. Exactly.
$100 a foot or more?
Well, you said 3,500, $4 grand, something like that. There's no concrete getting away, so it's yeah.
That's a broken thing.
What's that?
That's a real good thing.
You're right. There's no concrete in the way or anything, right?
Did you lift there for the basement?
Was that?
Did you lift it for the basement?
No, just to replace the foundation. It was failing. There was a lot of issues. Nothing was plumb on the house or level. Got a question?
No.
Better location, the ARV, do not go overboard. Well, there's nothing like $150,000 ARV anymore. But it used to be 3-bed, 1-bath, and Maze Landing, EHD, Galloway, 150, 175. Things to tell people, don't go crazy. No, you have to go put in $30,000 kitchen cabinets. You're not going to, people that don't do a lot of rehab, they do this not knowing if you're not going to get that back. Just because you put that much in doesn't mean you're going to get back. There's a limit of household income, and that's what they thought.
Do you ever purchase properties at share sale?
I have in the past. I haven't in the last 10 years really. But been there. They're still selling right now, but they're selling for high numbers. That's part of the reason we're not getting that going on the market.
And you got cash.
Yeah, it's you need 20% that day. And you can get a loan like a hard money or not a normal mortgage. I mean, you can as long as it's like 2 weeks or 3 weeks and not a lot of problems, but you need 20% cash that day.
And as is.
As is. You don't even get a side unless you got a way to get a side. And a lot of them have been occupied. But usually they go to share sale, the bank buys them back because there's too much money for consumers to buy them, and they go on the market. Problem is there's no inventory, so people are buying them at share sale, even though the numbers, I think, are crazy. There are some good deals there. When you go on the share sale list, it gives you an upset amount and a decree amount. One of those numbers, usually the upset amount, is the starting bid. But the bank is usually there to bid $100 over to buy it back to foreclose. But the bank can also choose to lower the starting bid. Doesn't have, and that's when you get a good deal. But you have to just be there. You have to just go there. That's where I've seen the best deals. You say, oh, the starting bid for I saw a Ryan's Ridge condo was like $185,000. I mean, that's even now it's $185 high. And I think when I was there, it started at 40 grand. If I had known that, I would have came to bid on that, but I didn't, wasn't advertising.
So the bank's writing it off to foreclosure, then they're buying it back at under the price, and then they're selling it for profit.
Yeah.
They're making 300%.
Yeah. They need to bail out.
There's no laws against that for them. No. So they're getting the write-offs and the profit.
Yeah.
They're getting both.
True. Listing the property to sale, year comps like any other listing. Time is money, so the price of the sell. My goal is to buy, fix, and sell within 6 months. So with my flips, when I do the numbers, I base 6 months of payments. Over 6 months, I've done something wrong or something went wrong, and just prepare for that. I offer a 1-year warranty on any of my flips. Sell them to a buyer because if nothing else, it makes them feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Just a general 1-year warranty, or are you talking about the
how warranty? Yeah, the ones we have, like $500, $600. Whatever reason, realtors and the buyer sues you for a property that you're an agent on and you're the seller, you're wrong. The judge just thinks you're wrong. You're the bad guy. So I was trying to fix everything on home inspection, give them a 1-year warranty. the best money you'll spend. They'll probably never use it, but it makes them feel like you're doing the right thing. And they don't, they give us a piece of mind, right? What's that?
Use American for covers part of the if it does come.
Oh, yes, you're right. Exactly. Good point.
Back on the other slide. With your last statement on that slide.
I rarely list my own properties. And actually I don't. So most of the time I'm buying flips with agents in the office. Like, Shante brought me that. And the way I do it, on paper, Shante never owned that property. I buy it because they're not going to let Shante the money anybody. Now with tax time, she's claiming half the expenses. But Shante lists it because legally she's not the owner. I don't list my own properties because it's just, again, it's too much of a liability. You have to disclose you're the owner and you're a realtor, but to be the listing agent and the seller and negotiate, it's just too personal, too much liability. That degree of separation, in my firm, honest opinion, is the reason realtors won't ever 100% go away. Buyers and sellers do not want to negotiate with each other.
You don't want that, can you?
Yeah, no, she's not going away. ET wants
So do you run all your investment flips through your real estate business? Or do you just sell them?
We sell through here, yeah.
Yeah, but you could just sell them right out too, but is it better?
I mean, like not as Keller Williams?
Yes.
No, no, because I can't get them on the MLS, which can't get on the internet. Unless I do a Fizbo or Zillow, which is the devil, we don't do that.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it was this way. If I would never do that, number one, because I can't get the exposure if I'm not going through the MLS, or I'm not going through Keller Williams listings. Yep. Two, if I'm listing as a Fizbo, as a property I own, how valuable am I showing you my clients that I am? I don't even see the value of real estate realtors. You know what I mean? So there's a money aspect of it, and it's actually, even if you pay yourself a commission, it's a write-off. So if you have a large amount of profit, you can split the income as far as this is your commission income, this is your investment income, because your investment income under a certain amount of years is a flat tax, I think, capital gains tax, but your commission income has a lot of write-offs off of it. So if I have like a large, if I like me and Madeline made like, I don't even know, it was like $80,000 on a property. We charge 6%, I think, or well, 5%. So we'll take it off as an expense, and the capital gains is lower over here. Make sense? Yeah. But mainly, I should say, you don't want to devalue yourself, your funds, and the exposure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you cap, perfect. Steps to buying the next property. You make money only if you buy right. This next one, yeah. I'm not gonna repeat myself. If you can buy the property, or if the second property, next property, yeah. You can buy a property with instant equity. You may hit the jackpot. Low on cash, take equity line on the first property to get your down payment for the next property. Keeping that same amount of money, property after property is the idea in my language stuff back then. Repeat this process until you hit the jackpot. Repeat. So basically, they were saying is you buy a property right, you have a lot of options. You could take equity out of it to buy the next property. Really cool success story. Just guy, Tony, I made him get a job on the books. DJ, but the NAFEC, that's $75 your job. But one property on Wyoming Avenue off Gene Ball, which was our VMAX, was $69,000, with 15 in it, rented it. He took an equity line, it appraised like 175. They gave him like 75 G's or something like that. He bought 3 more rentals and a primary. So he had 4 rentals then and a primary residence, and the 4 rentals paid for his property in Multiple Hollow. We made a video on it. It was also that's a pretty cool story. You can always take 20 grand out for down payment.
How long do you have to wait before you take money out of?
Depends on the bank. Some banks, a lot of banks want you to own the property for 6 months, and then they'll give you 75 or 80% of the appraised value. Some of them will say, we'll give you money the day after, but they're only going up to the sales price you paid for it. Like Elmer Bank, you know, they still do. You gotta find, there's banks that do it. There's some banks that will give you up to 70, 75% of an equity up to the appraised value they are closing. Used to be Wachovia, Washington Mutual, they're all closed down there. Some bank used to do Cape Savings used to do it, they're closed down too. I stopped lead generating for banks too. I used to do that all the time. So I used to know exactly what banks it was, you know. Elmer Banks, last one I knew, they'll go up to the appraised value, they have to close them. Finally, when the market goes up and you're holding a bunch of rentals, sell, sell, sell. Don't be greedy. You know, this is my second time doing this. I bought a bunch of properties in 2000, 2001. I sold them all by the end of 2006, every single one of them, except my primary. And I bought a bunch between 2009, 2010, and then 2021 and 2022, I sold every one of my rentals, which was 8. And I bought flips every year. I don't stop buying flips, but I don't know where I'm at. Now when the market starts to move down,
That was so good.